Okay, so we referred this kind of image earlier also. So this is a inverted tree structure of a HTML document. Okay, so basically any HTML document, it can be represented as an inverted tree structure in which HTML is the root. Then it has two children, head and body, and then again head has title, meta, body will have div, h1 paragraph, ul, then ul will again have some list items, paragraph may have some anchor tag, or paragraph may have some span. So this is how a tree structure is there for the HTML document. Now so yesterday someone mentioned about DOM, document object modeling. So basically we will start with today with DOM. So any HTML document or any HTML page can be represented as a document where all the elements can be accessed um, using the relationships and using their classes and IDs. So relationship is like parent, child, sibling, and classes or tag name like classes, class my paragraph, or ID identifier my div. Yesterday we discussed. Also, we saw there are so many CSS selectors. So not only using tag name and ID and class, there are pseudo uh, there are pseudo elements, there are pseudo classes, and then we can also select element using the CSS, using the attributes. So all those CSS selector are used as a for identifying an element in the document object modeling. So entire HTML page is treated as a document object, and then from if we want to access anything, there are a lot of functions. There are a lot of functions and members which can be used for accessing the elements of that document. Now all this coding will be in JavaScript. Of course, it will be taught to you later, but for now I will just give you a primer. So let us start with DOM. Now, so we have seen HTML tags, but for JavaScript, first time I will be introducing the tag name is a script. So if you want to write any kind of JavaScript, you need to write in between this script tag. Just like CSS, you have been writing just like when we are using a style sheets, we use a style tag. So here for JavaScript, we will be using a script tag. Now, next. So all a script tag will be written here. One more thing is that for each element, so like div is an element, there are few events associated. Okay, so event like someone clicked on a button, or someone typed in an input box. So those are called events, or someone hovered over the element. So already we have seen hover, and someone disabled the element, or someone checked the checkbox. So all those things are called event. So let us see some of the events and how in JavaScript we can capture that. So like button, on click. So on click equal to alert. So alert is for giving a message in JavaScript. So alert, I am clicked. Okay, so this is one of the event on click. So it will say that if someone clicks on the button, what has to be done to so do this. Additionally, we can also write a function. So like click some name, click action. So I can write a function, but then again, in the script tag, I need to define that function. So click action, and then inside this, I will write the alert that I have been clicked. So if on click event, there is a single statement, so you can write it here itself, or you can call a function, and inside that function, you can add multiple lines. How many, whatever action you want to get to be performed, you can write it there. So let us see. So if I click this, it gives me a message, I have been clicked. Now, another example I will take, input type equal to text. No, on click event is predefined. See here, there is nothing user defined, but the function that will happen on click, that user can define. So click action is already there. So there, all the events like click, double click, mouse over, mouse down, keyboard up, keyboard down, mouse out, mouse in, all those events, they are already defined. Okay, but on change, on input, so many things are there. So, but those events, what has to happen on those events, that you have to define. So input type equal to text. And suppose I put some ID, or on mouse, or on key up, and what has to be done. So I will put a placeholder, and the placeholder enter some text. Okay, now, so on key up equal to ID equal to some text. On key up equal to, and some function I will write like show value. Okay, so function show value. Now, for declaring any variable, we write var. So var val equal to document dot get element by ID. So what is the ID of that element? Text dot value, that val. And then just a minute. So as soon as I will, so can you, the event is basically on key up. So once I press a key and I release it, that is the event key up. So you can see in the tooltip also, a key is released on key up. So as soon as I will release the key A, B, so it will show me what has been typed in that input box, A, B, V. So this is example of events, and on any event I can specify a function in JavaScript which will do some action. Okay, so action may be anything, like if you I will later teach you in Ajax that someone types in the search box, and then the search box, like in Facebook someone types in the search box and it returns the uh, names which are all starting with that search input. Okay, so these are events. Now I'll just rename it event, and I will start with DOM. Now here I used one of the DOM method. So it is document.getElementById. So if I want to get any element on the page by ID, so I will use document.getElementById, and then I have to specify what ID is there. Okay, so in this way I got the input, and now I require the value of the input. So for that I use the property dot value. Okay, so this is one of the method. Now in this another page, we will go one by one with all the methods. Not all, but major of the methods. So let's start with, first we will create some of the so consider I create a div and I write some ID equal to my div, and then inside this is my div. Okay, next another one, div ID equal to div 2, and then this is div 2, and inside this div I will create a child. So p inside or para inside div 2. Next one paragraph I will create outside. So this is para. Then I will create another para with class. So class equal to my paragraph, and then this is class my para. Next I will copy paste this, Control C, Control V, and then I will add another my para class, because at least one more should be there, then it will be better. So this is second class my para. Next I will also use one anchor, name equal to anchor, h reference equal to blank. For now I will keep it blank, and then we will use DOM to change the. Now also one image, source equal to dot dot slash or img, yeah, img slash cdet.png. Okay, width I will set width maybe 50 pixel. Now we'll see how our these are what we have created. Now, what our aim is that one by one, we will try to access these items using the DOM, document object modeling, and then we will try to change the properties or anything, properties, attribute, or even the inner text also we will try to change. Okay, so let's go one by one. So of course, we will have to use a script. So let me write the script. Now, the first thing is that before I change any property, I want the document to be loaded. Okay, so suppose the page is not loaded and a script starts running. So if it has to apply some property on a paragraph which has not loaded yet. Okay, so in that case, the script will fail. So that's why what we do is we check whether the document is loaded or not. So there is an event document dot on ready state change. So on ready state, whenever its state changes, we will run a function. Okay, and then we will check what is the state. So if document dot ready state, so ready state equal to complete. Done. So whenever the state is changing, I am executing a function. So on ready state change, I'm executing a function which is checking whether the ready state is complete or not. So complete means the page has loaded fully. So if it has loaded fully, now I can execute my code. Okay, so this is the explanation of this 2 line of code. Now we'll move on to our other code. Now, so first thing is I want to access all the divs. Okay, so for that I have a function divs. So divs equal to document dot get element by tag name. So I want to access using tag name. So I will use tag. Okay, questions. So when are we supposed to use a script? Okay, so if I want to add any JavaScript code on my web page, then I have to use a script. Okay, now why do we use a script? Because we have to capture some event, like when you go to online SBI and you try to right click, it will say that right click is disabled. And suppose you go to facebook.com and you type in the search box, so it will give you suggestions. So those are called events. Events means you clicked, you right clicked, you double clicked, you press the key, you click on an input box. So those are the events, and on that event we need to perform some action. So like when someone types in the input box, search box, I need to fetch some names starting with those whatever inputs user has given. Okay, so that's why, so in that case, for those functionalities we need to use JavaScript. If type text is a password, what will show? It will show the password. What else? Now, so here what I already discussed event. So like on click and I have created a function, and similarly here on key up I have created a function. But only giving an alert that I have been clicked or I have been clicked, that is not sufficient. So we need to perform some action. So if someone has typed into the search box, I need to get that value, then only I will search. So like if someone typed AN, So I need to get that value n so that I will start my search with the names which are starting with n, like Anup, Anupriya, something like that. So so that's why we need to capture the element and their values if required. So like this is one example where I am capturing the element document.getElement by ID and its value dot value. Okay. So similarly, we can capture many things. So one example here I have given document.getElement by tag name div. So now this will return me an array of object. Why? Because there is not a single div on the page. There may be multiple div. So only one result will come when I have used ID. But if I use class or I use tag, so multiple elements will come. Okay. So in that case, what I can do is I can use a for loop. So for I equal to 0, I is less than divs. So how many times should I run this for loop? So for that, what I will do is I should run it how many divs are there. So divs dot length. And then I plus plus. So so I want to run the for loop on all the divs that are available. And for that, how many times I run the loop? So for that, I have used the breaking condition as divs dot length. It means dot length gives the count of the div. So now once I got the count, what I can do is divs and 0th element, suppose, but instead of its, I will put I div I dot style. A style is for changing the CSS property. So style dot suppose color equal to red. So I am taking all the divs and one by one changing their color to red. So this is my first DOM function to get element by a tag name. Now let us see whether they change color to red color or not. Yes. So they have changed color to red color. So why paragraph color has been changed? Because that paragraph is inside the div. So automatically it inherits the property. Yesterday we saw that some properties can be inherited. So this is done. Now next what is for the my div, I want to change the content. Okay. So we have already seen this document.getElement by ID because my div has a ID, so I can directly access it using the ID. So document.getElement by ID, and what is the ID? ID is my div. And to change the content of a div, inner HTML use. So inner HTML equal to change my div content. So earlier in the my div, it is written this is my div, but now I am changing the content to change my div content. Okay. Now let us see whether the content is being changed or not. Yes. So can you see changed my div content is now appearing. So I have changed the content. Now next. So this is the second. So get element by tag name, get element by ID. Now we already saw that anchor, one anchor is there, but for this H reference is not there. So H reference should be there, which will go lead me to Google. So how can I change someone's H reference? So document dot anchors. So document dot anchors return the elements, all the A elements. So document dot anchors, and there is only one element. So I will use the 0th element dot H reference equal to https google.com. Okay. So if I would have put some, I could have used get element by tag name also, or if I had put a ID, I could have used ID. But document also gives directly all the anchors using this anchors element. So document dot anchors and 0th element href dot h reference. So I am changing the h reference of this element. Let us see it is changed or not. So currently, can you see here the URL is not, doesn't have a URL. If I click on this, it will remain on this page itself. Now if I click on this, it will take me to google.com. So I have changed the URL using DOM. Okay, next. Now, next one is that I have used a tag name and I have used ID. Also, I have used anchor. Next is class. So document dot get element by class name. So what is the class I have used? I have used class name as mypara. So I will use this. And now if I put mypara, there are two elements. So again, I should iterate through the element, or I can directly use the index. So 0th element or one element. So 0 dot style dot suppose I want to put a border. So border equal to 2 pixel solid gray, something like that. So class name, using class name, I can set the border for the first para. So you can see this is the my class para, and there are two elements with this class name, but I have only used the index 0. So the first my class para will be, my para class will be, will have a border. So class name also. So this is how we use class name. You can also use same method which we use for loop if you want to change for each and every element. Next, document dot query selector. So query selector, basically I can give any CSS selector here, and then depending on that CSS selector, it will give me an element. So like for class mypara, I will use dot mypara. So it will give me all the elements whose class are mypara. But what is the catch? So query selector returns only the first element. Okay. So if I want to get all elements, I will have to use query selector all. There is a different function, but query selector gives me only one. So I can directly change style dot background color equal to suppose yellow. Okay. So query selector, inside that I can put any CSS selector, and see, depending on the CSS selector, it will give me the first element that it can get. Kindly mute yourself. So can you see it? This gave me the first para, and I changed the background color to yellow. So this is query selector. Now suppose I want to get all the elements. So I will use document dot query selector all. And then in that case, mypara. Now this will give me all the elements whose class is mypara. So now I will have to use index. So now I will use index 1. So I want to change property of the second element because already I have changed property for the first one 2 times. So this time I will use this dot style dot font size. I will use font size equal to suppose 20 pixel. So this time the paragraph element whose class is my para, yani the second class my para, for that I am changing the font size. So a style is used for changing the CSS properties. Let us see. So see, this is second class my para, the font size is increased rather than the earlier ones. Okay, so query selector next. Now next we want to access the child and parent. Okay, so let us start with child first. So first I will select the div2. So div2 equal to document dot get element by id. And what is the id of div2? Div2 itself. So I will use div2. Now for this div2 I will set border. So dot style dot border equal to 2 pixel solid red, suppose. So I have got a div2, and for that div2 I am changing the border. Why? Because I want to see what all elements are there in div2. So inside div2 there is this is div2 and one paragraph is also there. Okay, now I want to add one now I want to add one child inside, one more child inside this. So how can I do that? So for I will add one span in this. So how do we add a span? So where a span, suppose I put sp. So sp equal where sp equal to, or I can put any variable name. It's a variable name. You can put anything. Document dot create element. And what element I want to create? I want to create a span element. Okay, so I'm creating a span element. Now it will be a blank element. So what I need to do is inside that I will write some text. So inner HTML equal to something a span inside div2. So I created an element span and I have set the text inside that span. Now I need to attach that span somewhere. So a span has been created, but where will it go? So for that I will put it inside div2. So div2 dot append child. So div2 dot append child and a span. So I created a span, then I change the content of that span, and then I am adding that span to div2. Now you can see a span inside div2 has come. So in this way I can create the any element inside any other element. Now one question is there, what is the difference between query selector ID and get element by ID? Both are same, both are good. Whatever you want to use, it's your wish. So there are multiple options. It's up to the developer what he uses. Okay, next. So we created a span. We created and added it. Now I want to see the count of children of div2. Okay, so how can I check the count? So I can put an alert. So let me put an alert. So alert will be div2 dot children dot length, because I want to count the number of children which div2 has. Now how many children currently it has? One was the paragraph which was created, which was already there, and then second one is the span that we have just now created. So it should give me count 2. So let us see if it is giving count 2. Yes, so it is giving me count 2. Okay, now, so this is well and good. Now for the paragraph or a span, I want to change the any property. Okay, so like div 2 dot children. Now again there are two children, one is paragraph and one is a span. So I will use 0 or 1 I can use for the span dot style dot again I will change color itself, color equal to green. So for the div2, the second children, 0th element will be the first child and 1th index will be the second child. So second child, I am changing the color to green. So second child is a span. So color of the span will become green. So color of the span has become green. Okay. Next. Now I want to change the source of the image. So currently image is of CDAC. I want to change this image dynamically using DOM. So how do I do it? So document, one way is using the query selector. So document.query selector, and in the query selector I can use img tag, and then I will have to use index because there may be multiple images. Or I can use document dot images. So this is direct, just like document dot anchors, document dot images has also been provided. So document dot images and 0th element dot set attribute. If I want to change any attribute, because source is an attribute, it's not a style sheet. So it's an attribute, so I will change it using src. So set attribute and src, I want to change the source, and what source I want to put new. So I want to use img slash, let me see what all images are available. Trash.png. So there is an image trash.png. So in this way, the image which is earlier CDAC image, it will change to trash.png. Okay, let us refresh this. Okay, now CDAC image is not there and trash has come. This trash image is there. So this is how I can change the source. Next. So next is I want to remove any element. So there may be many elements and I want to remove any element. Okay. So suppose I want to remove this entire div, which has a paragraph and a span. So how do I remove this? So one way is I can use div2 dot remove. Another way is I can use span dot parent. So let me use the parent method because we have to check parent method also. Children we have already seen. We will see parent method. So I will write span dot parent. So who is the parent element? So or I can use parent node. So span dot parent node. So for span, this is the parent node, which is the div, and then dot remove. So this remove function is for removing any node or element. So currently I am using a span element dot parent node. So it will give me the div element div2, and then dot remove will remove it entirely. Okay. So currently this is there, and when I will refresh, this will be gone. This is gone. It's not there because it was removed using DOM. Okay, next. So I won't remove it now because I have to use sibling property. So we have used parent, children, class, tag, query selector, everything I've used. Now the next thing is sibling. So for sibling, now paragraph was already there inside div, and later span was added. So this is the div. Inside that paragraph is there, and after paragraph a span is there. Okay. So to get the sibling, there are two ways. One is next sibling, another one is previous sibling. So for paragraph, next sibling is a span, and for a span, next previous sibling is paragraph. Okay. So suppose for a span, I will use a span dot next element sibling, or since a span doesn't have a next element sibling, so I will use previous element sibling. So it will give me previous means, if I go again back here, a span, and what is the previous sibling? Paragraph, because it has come before sibling, before a span, sorry. So a span dot previous element sibling dot style dot color equal to pink. Okay, so basically I am changing the text color of the previous sibling element. Let us see. So you can see the color, the text color of this sibling has been changed. Next. So this is a anchor tag. Now I want to use next element sibling. So now for which I should change. So suppose that I go to div. So document dot div2. So document dot, no, I can directly use div2 because I have already used here, written here div2 equal to document dot get element by id. So I will simply use div2. So div2 dot next element now this is div2. This entire is div2, and after this div2, next sibling is this paragraph. So this is a paragraph. For this I want to change the color. So the color of this is a paragraph I changed to tomato. Okay, let us reiterate what we have learned today. So any HTML element any HTML element, it can be represented in as a document, which will have classes, which will have functions and which will have functions or methods and elements to access any of the element and change their properties, attributes, text, anything. So you can change anything. And then we saw that some of the selectors are there, like get element by ID, get element by class name, or even query selector is there. Then get element by tag name is there. And if I want to use for loop, I can use for loop, or I can directly use index. For changing CSS property, set style is there. And for changing attributes, set attribute is there. So we can use set attribute for setting the attribute. And for CSS, we will use a style. Then we also saw the parent relation. So I can change the style of parent. I can change the relation of, I can change any style for children, previous sibling, next sibling. So we have covered all major things. After that, I think if whoever teaches JavaScript, if he wants to cover it more, he can add to this. But this is, for now, this is complete. So we have learned document object modeling and how can we access each and every element on the on a page, and how we can change the their properties, CSS properties, or we can change the text, we can remove them, we can add them, everything we can do. Okay, so this was DOM. Next. Next is geolocation. So often people want that how can they get the location of someone, and depending on the location, it is used for, like, even for ads also it is used. Depending of the depending where you are located, ads will appear. Okay. So how to get the geolocation? So again, geolocation will be using your usual JavaScript, because native HTML doesn't support it, but we will use JavaScript. But HTML5, it has the facility to get the location using the navigator object. So let us start. So this time I'm writing well-formed HTML. Okay, so now I will create a paragraph, ID equal to suppose location, where I will show the location. So in this paragraph, I will show a location. Now also I will put a button, and on click event, I will try to get the location. So on this click, I will try to get location. And in the button, I will write click to get location. So one question is, what if there are more than sibling? So just now I told you there are so many methods. Like one is you can use while loop. So until you can use again next sibling, next sibling, next sibling in a while loop. That is one way. Second way is you go to parent and then access children. So in that way you will know how many siblings are there. So parent dot children dot count. So dot length. So in that way you will know how many siblings are there. Then use a for loop to access all the nodes. Can you show how to include that to HTML? Yes, we can write JavaScript in another file, and okay, I will show you. So like for this event, what I will do is in a JavaScript, I will create one file, main.js suppose. And then for event, I will write these functions control X inside main.js. Okay, so I have written it here. And then on this page, I will add a script source equal to js slash main.js. So Raksha asked that how can we write JavaScript in another file and then include in this own file. So I just now I created one main.js in which I transferred the functions, and then I included using script source equal to js slash main.js. So just like if you remember CSS also, we created a CSS file, but there we use the link for adding a CSS file. Here we will use a script. Then I will again run the event. So instead of DOM, I will use event.html, and it still says I have been clicked. Or if I type here, it shows the value. Okay, so so this is how we can add an external JavaScript file. Okay, back to our geolocation. So I created one button on which if you click, it will get the location, and then there is a paragraph placeholder in which I will show the location. Now, next part is the script part. So I have to write the script to get the location. So what is the function? So function is get location. So I will use function get location. So if navigator dot get location. So navigator is a object. So just like document, earlier we saw document object. So document object was for the your web page. Now navigator is for the browser. So navigator is for browser. So using the browser, we will try to get the location. So if navigator dot get location, it is there, then navigator dot get location dot get current position. And then once that position is achieved, we will use a function show position. Or I can use show location. Done. Or if it is not there, I will say that alert. I can give an alert that geolocation not supported by your browser. Okay, one more question has come. This is usually IP based because GPS, all the devices won't have GPS. Okay, next. So this is done. Then function show position, or we use location, so show location, and inside location I will take position. Now document dot get element by ID, because I have to show the position inside that. So id is location, get element by id has location dot inner html, because I want to show the position inside that paragraph. So I will, what do I want to show? So lang latitude lat plus position dot coordinates dot latitude. So this is, and second I will show, I'll just put a semicolon and latitude and longitude. So long plus same pos dot chords dot longitude. Okay, this is a big line. So what I have done is I got the element using their ID location, and then I am changing the content of that location. So currently content is blank here. So I'm adding location, and in I'm adding content, and what I'm adding latitude, which I am getting from the position value, and then longitude, which again I am getting from the position value. Yes. Question is geolocation by an API by HTML5? Yes, it is by HTML5. So it is, we have inbuilt support. We don't have to add any external API or library. So it is standard in HTML5. Okay, so.
Sir? Hello?
Yes.
Sir, can you please text wrap the visual code so that we can see the whole code? It will be done by Option Z or a Control Z in Mac.
I will break it.
Yeah, please break it. Thank you, sir. I think word wrap will work instead of this. I think this.
Okay, for now, let us work with this.
Okay.
Um, So I am changing, I am getting the element, and then for that element, I am changing the inner HTML, and the positions I am getting from POS, which is returned by navigator dot get location dot get current position. So geolocation, and I wrote get location. If you are using query selector, then only you need to write the entire CSS selector. Otherwise, only you have to give the ID. Done. So click to get location, and lat and long has been printed here. Fine. So this is how I can get the lat and long. Now, next question is that if I have the lat long, can I get the name of the city, country, or anything? Yes, I can get it. So you will have to use some external API. So like get city name from lat and long. So that is called reverse geocoding. So Google also provides reverse geocoding, but you will need to register on their cloud platform, and then they will give you a key using which API key using which you can get it. Otherwise, reverse geocoding. There may be some other also. So like this kind of API is there, where if you can call their you can call their API, and then they will return you the response in they will return you the response in JSON. So you can use that. So you can see here, if I am passing my lat long, so they are returning me lat long. Then they are also returning continent, country name, country code, city, locality, postal code, everything they are returning me. So I just need to call their API. Okay. So suppose I am just copying their URL, and in this I will change to my geolocation lat and long. And longitude. So I changed to my latitude and longitude. And okay, so can let me zoom it. So you can see that depending on this lat and long, this is the country name. This is the country code. Then this is Karnataka, India, Karnataka, even city Bengaluru, locality Kaban Park. Okay. So in this way, we can use any of the API, and then using that API, I can get the values of the city or country to locate your client. So how it is useful? Because it is useful in many scenarios. So suppose that banking is there, and the bank wants to check where his customer is, so that any unauthorized access can be prevented. So in that case, it will check the location, and if it is your location is outside of India, it will give you a alert on your mobile phone that you are trying to log into this website from this location. Confirm that it is you. The same thing you would have seen with Facebook also. You would have seen with uh, Google Gmail also. Okay, Vatsala is asking to explain the both functions. So see, second function is very easy, because this is only for showing the position in a paragraph. So this is a user defined function. This is also a user defined function. So what is not user defined is this. So navigator dot geolocation dot get current position. This is from HTML5 JavaScript. So I am using this function to get the location, and then I am showing the location in a paragraph using coordinates dot latitude and coordinates dot longitude. So navigator is an inbuilt object. So first I am trying that navigator dot get location. So it will return me the geolocation. So it will return me the geolocation. If nothing is returned, so I will show that okay, geolocation is not supported by your browser. Next, I will go to geolocation dot get current position. So it will return me the position. The position I am passing to this function, show location. And show location, using the position element, position object, I am showing the latitude and longitude inside that paragraph using DOM. So this is DOM document dot get element by ID. Okay. Fine. So DOM is done. Geolocation is done. What's next? So today from 10:45, Indrani madam will be addressing you regarding something regarding the course. So once she finishes up, then we will take on to our next lecture. So this is done. Next one important in HTML5 is canvas. Okay, so let me give an example of canvas. So I can put canvas ID equal to something, my canvas, and then put some height and width. So like height equal to 200, width equal to 200, height some 100 pixel, and then I will change the border to like 1 pixel solid gray. Done. So this is the this is a canvas tag. So what is canvas used for? So canvas is used for creating images or any structure on the page. So suppose that I have a video which is playing and I want to take a screenshot. So I can use canvas to generate an image out of that video tag. Fine. Now suppose there is a video and I like you would have seen movie is playing on the screen, and on that screen I want my logo to appear, like it's like it's G Cinema, anything is showing but logo of G Cinema will appear. So same way I want to add a logo to my video that is playing, so that also can be done with canvas. I can in addition to that, I can also generate images. I can do some drawing, like I can create a circle, I can create a line, or any such design I can do using canvas. So we'll see one example first. So for creating a design, we use a script. So where C equal to document dot get element by ID, and what is the ID of that canvas? My canvas. And then we will use context. So ctx equal to c dot get context, and we'll go for 2D, and then ctx dot begin path. So we'll start drawing, and what we have to draw is ctx dot arc. I want to draw an arc. So for drawing an arc, basically I want to draw a circle, but if I complete the arc in 360 degree, so automatically it will become a circle. So to so what I want to do is first the position. So suppose I want to draw the circle at a position x and y coordinate 90, 50. Then what will be the radius? So radius, suppose I want to put the radius of the circle as 30. Then what will be the starting angle of the arc? So if I want to start from 0, then till where I will go? So I have to complete 360. So for 360, the angle in radian will be 2 into 2 pi. So pi is 180 degrees, so 2 pi will be 360 degree. So I want to draw an arc at this position, xy position on the screen, xy position, and then the radius of this arc will be 30. and the arc coverage will be from 0 to 2 pi. It means ultimately it will draw me a whole circle. Then ctx dot stroke. So this is how I am generating a circle. Let us see if it works. Canvas. So you can see that a circle has been drawn. I only made a canvas, and inside that canvas, one circle has been drawn. So where do you want to draw the circle? You can use the change the XY position, and then you can also change the radius. If instead of 2 pi, if I put only pi, so only half circle will be made. So you can see only half circle has been made. No, so this is okay, drawing a circle, but next one practical application we'll see. So what practical application I will show you is I have a video and I want to take a screenshot from the video. So how can I do that? So video ID equal to, suppose, local video. And then for this video, I will add the autoplay muted and set some width. Width equal to, suppose, 200. And then for this video, I will set the source. Source equal to, inside day one we had used one video, so I will use the same video, sample.mp4, and done. Now let us see if the video is playing. Yeah, the video is playing. And now next thing is that I require a img tag, because if I'm taking a screenshot, I should be able to display it. So this is snap. For this image, I am declaring snap. And then I am also creating a button on whose click take snap or take a screenshot. Any function I can use. A screenshot. Remember, take a screenshot is a user defined function. So it means that I will have to write that function. So a script, and inside that function, take a screenshot. Now I want to take a screenshot, so I will declare a canvas element. So canvas equal to, I can use same canvas, or I can create a virtual canvas. So document dot create element, and that element is a canvas element. Now again, where ctx equal to canvas dot get context and 2D. Next one is, since I have to capture the screenshot from my videos, I will use video also. So where video equal to document dot get element ID, and what is the ID? Local video. Now, so next I will try to get the screenshot. So ctx dot draw image. One function is the draw image, which will take a video because I have to take a screenshot from the video. After video, there are two fields. One is a starting point. So from the video 0, top and left 0, I will have to start. Otherwise, some video position will be cut. So 0, and I will take the entire canvas width. So canvas dot width and canvas dot height. So height and width I will keep up to the canvas. So the image will be, and what I can do is for the canvas, I can set the height and width. So width equal to, suppose if it is a 480 video, so 480p video, so what will be the width? 640. And what will be the height? 480. 480p video means the width is 640 and height will be 480. So 480p video. So I want to draw a image which is of this length 480p and which has been taken from the video and whose starting point is 0. So this is ctx.draw image. Now I got the image. Now I require the URL of that image so that I could send the, so that I can set the image width equal to, suppose 200. So I require the URL of this image which has been just now created. So where URL equal to canvas dot get canvas dot to data URL. Yeah. So data URL, and what kind of image I want? So image slash JPEG. I want a JPG image. Now I have got the URL. So I want to set the URL for this image. So document dot get element by ID, and what is the image ID? Snap dot set attribute. We have already used in our last. And what is the attribute? Source. And what will be the value? URL. Okay, so I will repeat again. So I have a video tag, and from this video there is a video already playing. I have put it on autoplay, and when I click on the button which says that button is for take snap. So if I click on the button, it will take a snapshot of the video and then put that photo as in the image tag. So for taking the snap, I am using the canvas element. And for canvas, I have set the height and width, and of the same height and width, I am drawing one image from the video element. Once the image has been drawn, I need to, so once the image has been drawn, I need the URL of that image so that I can set the attribute source for that image. So this is, so I have a button take snap. If I click on this, snap has appeared. But since I have changed the height and width, so that's why it is looking like